bem-vindos a mais um episódio do Don't Panic, It's Organic. E dessa vez, nossa nova playlist, tutoriais de SEO com experts, com nada mais, nada menos que Bibi The Link Builder. Bibi, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And for those that were living under a rock, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Bibi the sword slayer. No, I'm Bibi the link builder. Well, it's actually funny because maybe not many people know that I actually give workshops on theater stunt fighting with swords. So, but that's like not alive, right? But yeah, I'm Bibi the link builder, and I live in Amsterdam, Netherlands. I've been building links, I think, since 5 years or something. And yeah, it's my agency is called Bibi Buzz, and it's been going pretty well.
Oh, that's nice. The first time I heard about you, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe three, when Rod Stavendale did one of his, I think it was Canonical Chronicles, and he mentioned you, Bibi the Link Builder, and I said, "Oh, who is this link builder?" Because link building has always been one of my passions in SEO. I started doing SEO back in 2007, and it was my first job. Back in the days where you're doing directory submissions and so on. I've met my associate in Spain, and he owned the agency in the UK, the agency that gave birth to Hedgehog, which now we are associates at it. So my first couple of years into SEO was doing link building. We're doing link building. Cool. In like directory submissions, then came article marketing. So I saw the kind of like the whole industry change around that. Then 2012 came Penguin, things got a bit tougher, then and all this digital PR frenzy, and it's one of the areas that I enjoy the most. And nowadays we have Hedgehogs, like this full agency that provides an all-around SEO service, including link building. So yeah, nice to have you on the show, and let's explain to the people how it's gonna work then. So guys, today we are gonna do a live analysis and strategies with Bibi. I've selected 6 websites from our audience here. So people from my LinkedIn approached me when I did a post, sent their website, so Bibi can look at their websites. It's going to be in Portuguese, so I'm going to give her a translation, like a brief on the website, and she will come up with methods, content ideation, and outreach ideas. Right, Bibi?
Yes, I'm going to try.
Good. Let's see how you get on with it. So, cool. I'm going to give you from 1 to 6. Yeah. And when you say the number, I will bring my screen to let me just share it as well. Hang on. Put it here so we can. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So, no, I don't want it now. Remove. So Bibi, pick a number from 1 to 6, and let's see how it's gonna work. So, guys, the first time we're doing this, so if things go a bit AO, don't worry. I think we're gonna get fine, right?
Yeah. Let's start with 5.
5. So now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna take my glasses off a little bit because I so these are supposed to be multifocal glasses, but they don't work for some reason.
So this is a e-commerce that sells beauty and cosmetics.
Yes.
Makeup, cosmetics, and so on.
Great. So normally if I start with a project, I would have a lot of questions for the client, like, what is your goal? What kind of link building have you done before and all that stuff. But we're gonna kind of guess what they want, right? So let me see. So they have a range of beauty products.
Yeah, they sell it for hair, for facial, nails,
cool.
eyebrows. They have the brands here.
Yeah. So what I normally also would ask the client, like, is there stuff that your audience wants to know about? And is there stuff that they should know about that they don't know? And are there things on your site that you really want some more attention for? So I already noticed here the flash cure. I don't know what that means. You could translate in English, or you can use the Google Translate, maybe, like translate the page, or you could translate it for me. So what is that flash cure thing?
It's like something for your eyebrows that enhances your eyelashes and eyebrows and so on.
Oh,
So it's
right.
like a product for facial treatments for your eyelashes and
Right.
eyebrows.
Okay, so it sounds like a growth serum, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that they want to have more attention for this eyebrow stuff. I would also see if they have a blog. So if you can check if they have a blog
See if they
or
have a
a
blog.
content section, because that's really important. So
Mhm.
I usually try to go for unpaid links, but I also do paid links. But my outreach is always based on getting unpaid links first. So I only work with clients that have a content section. And if they don't have a content section or they don't have pages that are easy to build links to, I do content ideation for them, right? So do they
So
have a blog
these
or
guys,
not?
I know they don't have a blog. Yeah,
Okay,
it's just
so
like an e-commerce that they have been doing mainly paid, unpaid search and paid
right.
traffic to sell. They're starting their project in SEO, so they're not
Yeah.
our client, but I've been talking with them, so I know a little bit of their background. So they
Yeah.
are this company that's selling cosmetics and beauty
Right.
products, and they don't have a blog yet. So I think
Okay, so I would definitely do content ideation for them, and I would only work with them if they're open to creating content, because it is possible to send links, even unpaid links, to a commercial page, but it makes my life way harder. So I love to have some kind of content section, and there's some sort of cluster around that's related to this eyebrow stuff or indirectly related,
Mhm.
and that way we can build links to the commercial page if it's possible, but also to any of the underlying pages that support that page, right? So I would definitely tell them, hey, you got to have content, otherwise it's going to be really hard. It's going to take a long time. But let's say that you do want to get links to a paid page, right? To a commercial page, right? So if we go to the product page of that flash cure thing, if you can
Yeah.
find that. So I think, oh yeah, so we have aqua clean. So these are three products. So this is
Yeah,
sort of like
from the same brand, I'd say.
yeah, so it's sort of like a category page, right?
Yeah.
So we could build links to this or to one of the product pages. Now, what I would do, I would go to, for instance, ChatGPT or Bing or Bard, and I would ask them things like we could do that now actually just for fun if because you're still sharing your screen.
Yeah. I mean,
That's cool. So if you go to Bard or ChatGPT, and
which
then
one do
you
you
could
prefer?
so for content creation, well, no, content ideation, I like Bard and Bing. But for sometimes for researching the audience, I like ChatGPT. And we can also not use these things. We can also use just Google or whatever, but just for fun, just play around with AI. So so what I would do is I would ask AI what topics what related topics is an audience interested in if they're interested in eyebrows, right? And then it gives me all these ideas. So you could type that in, but of course you can also yeah, definitely do that, by the way, because I like the help of AI. But you can also think about it yourself. So one of the things that I immediately would think about is, for instance, some people have like they have a problem with their eyebrows where they get little pieces of skin that are loose and that fall out of their eyebrows. And people think it's dry skin, so they think they need to moisturize it, right? And in a way, that's true, but it could also be a condition where you actually have I think it's a bacteria, and it
Hmm.
causes like dry skin around the nose and in the eyebrows. Brows. So if I would do guest post outreach, that would be one of the topics I would be pitching. So I would probably ask Bart in that case to list some titles, create some titles around. We'll go back to ChatGPT, by the way, so you can just stay here. So I would go to Bard and ask them to create some titles around problems with the eyebrows, like skin problems with the eyebrows, and to do it in the style of Vogue or Cosmopolitan or some other magazine like that. You have to prompt AI to ask it in a specific style, otherwise it comes up with really dry and boring titles that
Hmm.
everybody. use. And I would definitely not ask ChatGPT to come up with titles, because ChatGPT always uses the same types of words. They always use unlocking, unveiling, the art of, mastering, the future of, all those things. So it's become really recognizable.
Right.
So here you did ask.
Yeah, I'm just doing like a proper
Great.
like prompt engineering. So, and as some sort, so people can
Yeah.
understand more or less what is the process that you go through.
Did you ask to do it in a specific style, or was
No,
it
just put a great.
okay? So what I do now. Sorry if I'm being like
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. Go on.
really like a, how do you say, one of those trucks that just drives over you. Because this is how my brain works, right? So I have to keep it
Okay,
going.
now go on.
So
Go
what
on.
I would do, I would now ask it to, can you rewrite those titles in the style of Cosmopolitan? So now you're asking it to rewrite those titles in a style of a specific magazine, because that usually ends up in more interesting titles, right? So these are fine, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is only like one topic around the eyebrows, right? So what I would normally do is ask Bard or Bing to list subtopics around eyebrows or other topics as well. And I would create 3 titles with the use of AI that I'm going to pitch to prospects. Now, if you go back to ChatGPT, oh yeah, you're typing.
So while it
Oh,
works,
you didn't do in the style, but it's fine.
I know
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
kind of like asking to do the Cosmopolitan here,
Oh yeah, great. Oh, and then
and
you went
then
to,
from those ones you can create some subtitles for us.
yeah. No, that was a different topic, but it's okay. So if you go up, if you go up,
Yeah.
go up, go up, because yeah, stop. So here, this is great. Do you see Cosmopolitan style? Your eyebrows are screaming SOS. Here's how to help them. That's a way more interesting title than the ultimate guide to blah 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 blah. Right? So I
So
would
can you do
definitely,
like the first one for your for your client's website, where you're going to create the
no,
content for them, and then use
no, no,
those
no,
for
no.
your outreach?
This is content ideation for the guest post outreach.
Okay, good.
Because your client doesn't have a content section, so we have to work.
Okay,
Normally, I would not
perfect.
take a client like that on. I would
Got
say
it.
you have to be open to create content, right? But if you're working on a project and the client is definitely not creating more content, then when you do, then the only option you have is basically doing guest post outreach, where the value lies in the pitch that you're doing to the prospect, not the content that you're targeting. Because
Got it.
no link prospect is interested in a commercial page.
Definitely
They
not.
don't care. They give a fuck about it, right? So you have to give a really good pitch, and this is part of that pitch. So we have the eyebrow stuff, right? But
Mhm.
what's also really important, if you're building links to a commercial page, is that when you pitch stuff, it shouldn't be so on the nose. It shouldn't be so obviously self-serving. If you're pitching around eyebrow problems, that's gonna be too self-serving. So if you have 3, hey, this is cool. I have giant fingers. If you have um, 3 titles, one of them can be commercial, self-serving, right? But the other 2 definitely need to be about something that's more a couple of levels up, but still indirectly related to where you want to target the link. So I like the screaming SOS. We should keep that one. Now, if you go back to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
because there you were asking about, yeah. So these are other topics that they are interested in, and these topics give you ideas about things that are not on the nose, but indirectly related. Although I can see that most of them are about eyebrows, I can see some. So we gotta find. Okay, so for instance, if you look at the first one, makeup and cosmetics, there's foundation and concealer recommendations. That's great. So what I would ask ChatGPT is, what's this subtopics? Can I see the prompt 1 second? If you scroll up,
Yeah.
yeah. What are related? Oh, yeah. Okay. What I would say, for all the related topics that are not about eyebrows, no, no, I would say list all the related topics that are not about eyebrows. Because what we do then is we have a list of topics that are indirectly related to eyebrows, but they're not about eyebrows, right? Yeah. It's really hard sometimes to give negative instructions to AI. Yeah, exactly. So it's already doesn't understand.
Yeah. No, but
Um,
it did list like makeup and cosmetics, skincare, beauty,
yeah,
grooming. So
yeah.
around your topic, wouldn't this be around your line of thought? Wouldn't this be a good one? Beauty and grooming, because it says hair tips, including hair
Yeah, okay.
removal
So
techniques, waxing and
yeah,
threading, plucking, and
that-
so on.
that's a great point. So if you just copy that one, so those three, so from beauty, yeah, just copy it, then go back to Bing or Bart. I don't know where you were. Yeah,
Bart, yeah.
yeah, and then say create 10 blog titles around these topics in the style of Cosmopolitan, and then you paste those topics.
Those related to these topics.
I'm making you work.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no worries.
All right, cool. I feel like a grandma because I have to put my glasses up like this.
Yeah,
Well, I'm 48, so
enjoy that.
all right. So now it's gonna do titles, right? So while it's thinking about that, you go back to ChatGPT,
There
and
you
now
are.
we're gonna work on parts of the email. So one of the last things you want to do is ask AI to create an email because everything they do is based on what's already been 10 million times before, right? So what I
Hmm.
like to do is work by elements, and you don't have to work that in order. You can start with a footer or with a sign off or whatever. But in this case, we're gonna just start with maybe a subject line or intro. So what I always like to say to ChatGPT is create list. No, create 10 shower thoughts about beauty. So
Shower
if you
thought.
do that, yeah, shower thoughts. So I don't know. Do you know what shower thoughts are?
Yeah, brainstorming, kind of like, yeah.
What is in
Similar
your
to
language?
brainstorming.
What?
Similar to brainstorming or not? Shower thoughts.
Yeah, sort of like that. So they call it shower thoughts because usually you have the best ideas when you're in the shower.
Ah, all
So
right.
they're
Okay,
like
got it.
random. They're random thoughts, like when you smoke weed or something, you get the same sort of ideas. So here you can see. Let me see. Cosmetics. Yeah, so these are not great. So I would normally ask Bart or Bing, but let's see what some of them could be cool. Um in a world of sesame. Yeah, so you could say I kind of like 6. So number 6 is cosmetics serve as a bridge between our inner self and the image we present to the world. Um you could use that as an intro for your email, right? So you have to see your outreach email as copy. So you have to grab their attention. So I would usually use a shower
So
thought as an
if we
intro.
do this based on
Huh?
these,
No, no, no. Don't ask it to write an email. Please don't do that. Because it's
no, no,
gonna
just asking the title, to create the title, like based on those
no,
search thoughts, create email titles or no?
huh?
That wouldn't
No,
work.
no, 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 no. Don't do
Okay, got
this.
it. Got it.
We don't want the AI to think that it's creating an email.
All right. Okay,
This is
got it.
gonna you
Never
don't
use so guys, never use the word email on ChatGPT
yes.
or
Well,
Bard.
you
Lesson
can
number one.
you can start doing it at the end of the road, maybe, right? But what I would usually do is keep a doc, like a Google Doc. We can do that now if you want. You can do a Google Doc, but it might take too much time. But and then I would take one of those shower thoughts I like and put them in a Google Doc. And I'm not going to say, oh, this is the intro or whatever. I'm just going to put it there. We're kind of building it from clay,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not
Got
going
it.
to take shape until we're at the end. So we got the intro. Um, and so what I would also maybe say is like create a deep question about beauty or something like that. So you would ask AI to do that. You can ask ChatGPT or Bard or Bing. Do you use Bing, by the way? It's really great.
Not really.
Okay. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah. What you also can do is because we're looking for subject lines now. So the point of a subject line is also to stand out in the inbox and get somebody to open your email, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we haven't talked about prospecting, who we're writing this to, but right now I'm going to assume it's anybody interested in beauty, right? So it can be
Yeah, so
makeup artists.
let's keep it at that broader audience, so it's easier
Yeah,
for people to understand. Yeah.
yeah. So these questions aren't like the best, but let's say um, number 4 is interesting. Can true beauty exist without imperfections? Why or why not? I would remove the why or why not. So
Okay.
my subject line would be, can true beauty exist without imperfections? Because that's something that somebody who's interested in beauty or makeup, that triggers them, right? So they want to
Mhm.
open the email. So I would grab that as a subject line, and then I would open up with maybe an answer to that question or not, or I could just go into the intro that we took from the shower thoughts, right?
Got it.
So now um, we have 2 parts of the email. I'm gonna list all the parts for you. So
Mhm.
you probably know this, but maybe your audience
Yeah,
doesn't.
yes, yes, yeah, that's it.
Cool. So you have the subject line. You have the greeting. You have an intro. You have a segue that goes into your pitch. You have the pitch itself. Then you have maybe maybe another clarifying sentence or something that you would add in there. And then you have a complimentary close where you say goodbye. And then you have your signature. And then you have a footer. And all those elements you can use, you can be creative in, but you can use AI to unleash them. Um, so we had the subject line, we have the intro. We could also work on a greeting. So I like to mess around with the greeting as well.
Hmm.
You could think about that yourself, but you can also ask AI. So let's go to Bart. Maybe Bart can play along this time. So I would say list 10 creative uh, greetings for a beautiful person or something like that. Now, now here you got to be a little bit careful because you always have to think about the perspective that you're emailing from. So if I am a man and I'm emailing people, then you cannot be too flirty or whatever. But if you're using a woman, then it's okay. No, 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 no. For a beautiful person.
For a beautiful
Oh,
person.
well,
Right.
you could also do people interested in beauty. Actually, could be okay.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. Let's do it.
Okay. For people.
You could be. There's 1,000 ways of doing this. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
okay.
I think that the whole concept here, Bibi, is like people are already getting it. So when people will be watching it, they will also get it. It's like the structure, your how you think when you come up with the content idea, then you start going through the topics, then you do your content idea or content ideation done, then you work on the email. So all of that process, you're using the or either chat gpt or bard, so the ais to help
Yeah.
you come up with the title, the
Yeah.
intro, the greetings, and so on. So I think the whole idea, even if the prompts are not as perfect as we're doing it live and recording it, I think that's excellent. And already people can
Yeah.
come up and grab the ideas of how you structure your thing. But one question came up in this whole
Yeah.
process of your email.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have content, so it makes it harder. You need to come up with the the angle, you need to come up with content ideas, and how you're gonna get the attention of those people.
Yeah.
But a lot is being said around link building these days that you can't just like the cold email doesn't really work. You need to establish a relationship.
Oh yeah,
How
that's
would
great.
that, yeah, how would that work? Like all these people that you're emailing. So have you established a connection before, or just came up with a list of prospects, got their emails, and you just like sending all those emails out?
No, so I think relationship link building is the best way to do it.
Okay.
But the way my company works, it's not really possible because I have like
Right.
teams. Those teams are in the Philippines. So it's a little bit hard, I think, for them to create a relationship from nothing. So what you would normally do you would go to LinkedIn or something, or you would comment on somebody on social media or stuff like that, right? So that's how you would build a relationship, and that's and some people also build partnerships where you have a mutual beneficial relation. So you build links for them, and that way you can use their site as a link, not a link farm, but as a link resource for other people. I think relationships link building is probably the best way. It's the least well, it's probably better. But what I do notice is that because we work with editors of other sites, that if they like our content, they always ask for more, and they also like the the style of writing and everything. So that way, we have built up relationships with editors that we
Right.
can use again, but not. It's not the biggest part of my link building. My link building is cold outreach
Got
mainly.
it. Got it.
Yeah,
So sticking to that one, the cold outreach emails. At any point I saw you going, oh, I really like your website and blah 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 blah. That is out of the question, right?
yeah,
When you do your emails, you're just pitching a good content idea. You list your prospects. You come up with the content ideas that you're gonna pitch to these prospects. Then you come up with a really nice email, starting with a nice subject line that will get their attention. When
yeah.
they open the email, they see a unique pitch for a good content for their website. In
Yes.
summaries, that's how the cold outreach that you do works so well. Hence, why you are so well, just so renowned, let's say, in the world of LinkedIn. I wouldn't say famous because I just it is also famous, but I think
No, no, no.
renowned is it's a word. I think it's a more sophisticated word as we're talking here. Yeah, I asked Bart for it, by the way. I
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah. But I do have to say that email outreach has gotten harder over the years, and I think it will only get harder. So I always tell clients you need to invest time and effort in your content section, because you can create linkable assets as well that are easy to build links to, and get passive links as well. So passive links are links without outreach. So I would definitely not rely on cold outreach alone. You have to invest in your own website as a linkable asset as well.
Right. That said,
Yeah.
when you do the prospecting, obviously those websites must have a content section, right? How
Yes.
do you go by that? Because if you say, when you do you use AI to do that nowadays, or you use Ahrefs or any other tool that will help you find prospects for this, let's say for this client here that is looking for that and wants links for, say, beauty related website or
Yeah. Yeah.
cosmetic related. How do you go by selecting the prospects to guaranteeing that they have a blog or a
Yeah.
content section? How does
So
that work?
yeah, I use Pitchbox for years now. It's my go-to tool. It does everything for me basically. And by the way, also you were talking about the came across sentence. So Pitchbox has done a case study that they still have to publish, but they researched 10 million emails, and they're listing all the most used phrases. So that will be a really great way to avoid those in your emails. But anyway, I use Pitchbox, and then Pitchbox has different types of campaigns. So you could do a search operator campaign, which is based on keywords and other search operators that you put in. But you can also do a backlink competitor campaign, or a roundup campaign, or a link insertion campaign, or resources campaign. So they have all these different features for that. We normally do the Google search operator campaign, and you can use a keyword tool within Pitchbox, but I love using Ahrefs. And I try to think in terms of, so the first thing I like to think about are directly related keywords, right? So when you talk about eyebrows, it would be everything around eyebrows.
Mhm.
But then I like to look a little bit further, because that's where your competitors are always also looking at those keywords. I like to think of in terms of an audience. So what kind of audience is interested in eyebrows, and what else are they looking for? And then I like to look for those keywords. But there are a lot of different prospecting angles, but you can also look at what kind of companies are catering to the same audience, and what keywords do they normally rank for. So for instance, if you have a gardening website, of course you're going to look for keywords that have everything to do with gardening. But you can also think about a correlated interest that the same audience has, right? So maybe gardeners are interested in camping. It's further, right? But it would be a spot where your competitors might not be looking, and it has like how you say, an overlay with your audience. So then I would be looking at companies that are busy in camping. So there would be like maybe somebody who sells tents or cooking gear, and then I would be looking at those keywords. So for me, and I've seen those results as well. I think people sometimes look very narrow when they're doing link building, and at some point you run out of prospects because you're only looking like, oh my god, I'm interested in eyebrows, so I can only do eyebrow keywords, right? But you have to broaden it up and look at shoulder niches or indirectly related keywords or correlated audiences, and that way you never run out of prospects, and your backlink profile will look very natural because it's more varied.
Right. And one thing that you emphasized a lot was regarding having the content section.
Yeah.
Because building links.
Oh shit, that was your question. How I know if they have content? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So in Pitchbox, you can view the sites from within Pitchbox,
Right.
and my team looks at whether or not the site has a content section. But you can also use the search operator in URL and like in URL blog or something like that. So that's another. Those are two ways we use. So you use the search operators and an actual visual inspection.
Right. One thing that I do here in Brazil, and especially in the UK as well, using the search operators, is like site column .com.br, which is like websites in Brazil.
Yeah.
That in URL have a like blog, and space quote marks the topic that I want. So I have a list of .co.br, .com.br websites that have a blog that talk about cosmetics. That helps me create a list from Google, so then it can scrape it and then come up with the ideas. And that also works quite well for the UK as well, because .co.uk, I guess the Netherlands as well, depending on the country that you are working from, you can do that like search operator.
Yeah,
right?
search operators really you should anybody watching this, you should definitely look at the search operators, because it really gives a different lens on all the sites that are out there, and every time you get different results. I've started also asking AI about search operators, and that's really great because they can give you all these search operators. One other one that I wanted to add was sometimes sites don't have a blog, so they don't have something that says blog or articles or whatever. But if you look at keywords like how to and ultimate guide and things like that, it's usually their content section that ranks for that, not their product pages. So that's another way to find the sites with content.
Ultimate guide is a good one because everybody has their ultimate guide.
Yeah, it's like so overdone. It's so
if
cheesy.
you're looking for good content and hedgehog, don't use ultimate, use fundamental.
Oh yeah.
Our guides, I try to tweak around, fundamental guides, because everybody has their ultimate guide. Ours is just fundamental. If you want to learn something, the foundations of everything, that's how our guides work. It's not the ultimate, because everybody has their ultimate guide. So I just like keep it low profile. So we use fundamental. It stands out a little bit. So
yeah. And also use if you do AI content ideation, you can use the style of the magazine, but you can also use style of writers, and that's another way. So I really like Samantha Irby. She's a great writer, and when you use her as a style prompt, then you can get some really great results. She probably doesn't like it, but
well, it's there, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's an interesting angle to use, like the writers. And to be honest, I never thought about using the magazine style. So that's a really great tip as well, because when you're selecting the topics, we were talking about the website that we just analyzed around cosmetics, and Cosmopolitan is one of the most, well-renowned magazine or publication within cosmetics. So there's a tip, guys. Focus on the topic that you are wanting, selecting. So let's say I was writing for a Spanish blog.
Let's do another site.
And I want to use Marca as one of the references.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most football-related publications in Spain. So Marca and As and so on. So it's just that. So giving examples so people that are watching can get the idea.
Yeah, and you can cheat that as well, because you can just ask Bing, because Bing can scrape, right? You can ask Bing, list the 10 most popular magazines around football. And then you don't even have to leave AI really, except for keyword research and all that stuff. But
Very interesting.
so
So
let's do another side, man.
yeah, go on, go on. So let me add it in here.
Let's do number 2.
Oh, I was going to suggest that one, by the way.
Oh, cool. Oh no, it's football.
No, it's not football. It's about betting. It's a blog that talks about betting.
Oh,
All
Jesus.
about betting. So
All right.
betting guides, tips, betting houses like sportingbet.io and so on. So
Yeah.
it's a general blog that talks about sport betting.
Right. So I have no idea how I would get unpaid links to this.
Yeah, tough one.
Gotta be honest. So it actually doesn't matter because you just have to pay for links. No, but let's pretend. So I did do links for a site that was around games, and it was betting, but the site had a lot of game content, not games like video games, but like brain games and stuff like that, right? So again, I would want to see their content section, but if
So
every
let me give you a brief on this one. This blog is one of
yeah,
my old blogs that I used to
yeah,
well, I haven't updated in a while now, I think 2 or 3
mhm,
years. So the idea was the Tudo sobre apostas is all about betting. So I
right,
was creating guides on how to bet on the basketball leagues, how to bet on the Brazilian football league, how
yeah,
to bet on Euro Cup 2021 games. And so it's like a guide to help people know how to bet.
to help
So
people lose money.
exactly.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
So what we can do for this one is we can do the content ideation for new content ideation. I can show
right.
you how I would do that, right? So what I would use is, do you have Ahrefs?
Yeah.
Do you mind opening it up? And feel free to interrupt me anytime because I can be like a bulldozer once my brain starts moving and stuff. Okay, so what I usually do is I use the Content Explorer, and I think people are really interested in a betting guide, right? But your link prospects are a different story because they're probably going to ask for money or whatever. So maybe we could come up with something that's not super commercial and could
You want to
could
go to
get
Content Explorer, yeah?
yeah. So you go to Content Explorer. So one of the things that there are a million ways to do this, but one of the things I like to do is stats pieces, and I got a lot of inspiration from that from Stacey McNaught. I don't know if you've ever had her on your podcast. You should definitely invite her.
Right.
So you could enter a topic into Content Explorer, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do a type of content. So if you just do stats, maybe that could work. So you type in stats, and then okay, I'm gonna take my glass off again. All right. So now we're gonna apply some filters. So one of the filters you can use is, for instance, Pinterest. I really like Pinterest. And then do
So what are
social
we,
share, social
sorry?
share, social shares on the bottom. No, no, no.
Oh,
Click. You already.
social
Yeah,
share, yeah?
yeah. So I always like to start with really some big number. So just maybe do 1 million. So we're gonna look at uh, how many repins there were for specific type of content around stats. So do apply. Is it
So
1 million? I don't know. I'm really bad with numbers. Show results. Did you click show results? Yeah.
yep.
Okay, cool. Um, okay, so we see this LGBTQ thing and then baked zucchini chips. So why I like the Content Explorer is not necessarily because I want to recreate what's already working. I could do that, but it can also give me some inspiration. So here I can see that this app is getting a lot of repins. So what I would do, I would have a sheet next to me and then make notes. So if I would do something with football and LGBTQ, that could be a great linkable asset. For instance, something like, um, you know, LGBTQ AI, what's it called, IA plus awareness in the football community, in the global football community, because I know that maybe every Pride Month or every World Champion Cup or whatever, somebody could publish a news story or news angle around this topic. And then they would need stats. And I would give a writer the instructions or the brief to create a complete statistics article that gets updated every year with the stats and the trends and a forecast, in the hopes that it's going to get picked up by news publishers or other types of blogs. And it could be easy to build links to, right? So I would definitely note this topic as one of the
Right.
topics.
Okay.
Now, but we took a really high Pinterest share thing, so let's lower it a little bit. So you go here and you go like, I don't know, 100,000 or 500,000,
Okay.
something like that.
I see 100,000.
Yeah, and go show results. All right. Instagram, blah blah blah. Winter Chronicles, mozzarella, 5 ingredients. Okay. Oh, thank you for making it bigger. Thai chicken. Killer content ideas. Okay, that could be something. So when you see 70 killer content ideas, I could do maybe a guide like how to use AI for creating social media posts around the championships or something like that. So that's more of a guide. So as you've noticed, I'm really in brainstorming mode. So I got
Mm-hmm.
80 ideas, right? And that's the first phase. I don't judge any of the ideas I have. I don't think about how I'm going to apply it. I just do brainstorming. And once I have 80 ideas, then we go into the validation phase. And that's where we look at, okay, which idea fits the client, which would have more chance of getting picked up, which is easier to build links to. And we try different ways of validating that. And sometimes it's just a gut feeling. You feel like, oh, this is a new trending topic. That's going to be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you go up again, so we did Pinterest, right? I can also change instead of stats, I can do maybe something like how many. So if you do, so that's not stats, but it's sort of the same. Yeah. And you have to do, oh yeah, I still have to filter, right? Yeah. So I would look through this and then think again about how I could apply it to the niche, somehow related.
Mm-hmm.
You go down. Yeah. So there's nothing really relevant, but I did see some things that made me have another idea. So about the planting, right? I would maybe have a piece around sustainability of championships or whatever, or football, something.
Mm-hmm.
Or the grass, there's been a lot of scandal stories about the type of grass. No, not the type of grass, but the pellets that been used under the grass, fake grass, that they are poisonous. So I could do a piece around that, and it would be more about youth teams and how unsafe it is that they're playing on the pellet. It's toxic for them. But let's try to find a topic that's more directly related. So if you go up, and we're not going to do Pinterest, we're going to do something else. So if you, instead of how many, you do like soccer. This is the last example that I give, right? So this is just, I'll stop talking. So instead of the Pinterest filter, so do more filters. Oh wait, yeah, more filters there. You can choose. You can choose referring domains, page traffic. Which one do you like?
I would go with maybe, I don't know, website or no.
Oh, I've never done that. I don't know how that works. So maybe do either page traffic or referring domains. I think that
Okay,
this one,
let's do referring domains
yeah.
from,
Let's say 1,000, just for fun.
yeah.
No, let's say 10,000.
And,
Yeah, because soccer is it's a really wide topic. So and then show. So there's one thing that we probably need to do. Cryptocurrency price, how Google uses cookies. Yeah. Maybe I was a little bit too optimistic because I don't see anything that's giving me an idea. Okay, let's go back up, and then instead of 10,000, let's do 1,000. Is it because we're using the word soccer and not football? Maybe, I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, let me see how many colors. School shooting. Wait,
Jeez.
how many? Why is it still giving me how many? Did we? It's
Yeah,
still
no,
leaking.
well, we did clean there. I did put soccer
Yeah,
here.
that's weird.
That's pretty cool.
Can you do the search? I think we did something weird. Oh yeah, here we go. So there's one thing that we probably need to do, and that's if you go up, um, we have to exclude home pages. So if you go to the filter next, go down, go filter next to 15,000 pages. Do you see that? On the go down.
Where?
Oh yeah, and go left, up, down. Oh god. So do you see 15,000 pages?
15,000 pages. Am I going
The
go?
result, right? So you see pages over time. Go
Ah,
down.
here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I filter. So exclude home pages.
Ah,
Yeah. So that way you don't see a site that gets a lot of links because it's a popular site, but because it's a page, a specific page. Hmm. I don't know. These are all things that I don't know if they
too
would.
broad. Yeah.
Um.
Say
Well,
we
it's
do.
more
If
like
we add stats here,
it's
football
not too
stats.
broad, but it's more like there are already really authoritative sites that
Yeah.
are the authority on a specific topic. So and they're very directly related to football, so it would be really hard to do something like that. Offensive line rating. Oh, this is all football. This is
Yeah.
anything.
Then come. So if we change it to soccer,
Yeah.
no, oh, to that.
I wouldn't do stats, but you could do that.
See if we get. Don't get any more.
Yeah, no, but the
Yes.
stats.
Yeah.
I think you're limiting it.
Yeah.
You're limiting it to specific. You're gonna get the same result as the women. Okay, women. That's of course a very hot topic. Um, so I would definitely try to look up stuff about women. So we could do something like the top women in football, the most paid women in football, women with the most injuries, or anything like that. I think we
Mhm.
should stop here, but I
Yeah.
would definitely that would be an angle that I would go into and try to validate and come up with all these different angles.
Yeah. I think that's great, Bibi, because we come with this website that has a content section. Here, we're showing a different approach, how
Yeah,
to use Ahrefs to come up with content ideas, to then develop the content that we want to produce, to then go through the whole process that you just explained it through in the first website that we analyzed. And you
yeah,
go
and
through
you can
content ideation.
yeah, and you can do two different things, or you can of course do a zillion different things. One is you can look for the specific topic, right, or something that's related, but you can also reverse engineer based on the type of content. So you could do how many, stats, calculator, resource, wrong, right, all these different words that indicate a specific type of content. And then look how you can apply that to your niche. It can be something, maybe somebody wrote something about how many fruit flies. It doesn't mean a fruit flies is relevant to you, but you can look at the type of content and see, okay, maybe I can apply that to soccer or something.
Got it. Got it. So really, really interesting ways of us to come up with the ideas. I love the using Chat GPT. I must confess, I wasn't using that much to
Mm.
generate ideas for my emails without
Yeah,
asking him to do the emails. So one thing I've learned today: never use the word email with any of
if
the AIs.
possible, don't really do it. Yeah, at some point you can do it for. At some point you can do it, but never ask it to write an email because that's not going to end well.
Got it. So, Bibi, that was, I think we're coming up to the end of our chat here.
Great.
Yeah, it's coming up to almost 1 hour so people don't get tired. I know you're also
Yeah, it's boring,
very,
man.
very busy. And final words for people that are starting with link building or are building links, for the link builders around the world that are listening, especially for the Brazilian audience here, what would you give them as a final tip?
Um. Yeah. So I my best advice would be to really have empathy for the people that you want links from. And empathy is something that not many people, a skill that not many people exercise lately. So empathy and listening, uh, because just because you think something is wonderful or something helps you a lot, it means nothing to the other person. So you have to think from their perspective what helps them the most. And I know it's very obvious and nobody wants to do it, but it can really help. So don't think like a link builder, think like an editor. What would help them the most, what kind of content or whatever other thing that you can offer them.
Very, very good. So in summary, for you guys listening, cold email outreach still work. Bibi is a living proof of that. Her agency is doing that by, how many links are you building them on average a monthly, Bibi? Can you share that with us, that number?
It really goes up and down, and it really also depends on the project. So sometimes we really suck, and sometimes we're great. But I would say between 60 and 100. But I know other people do way more, but it's also because they do like paid backlinks or
Different strategies.
it's like, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing the most horrible version of
Come on, if it's working, come on, that's what.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So Bibi, thank you very much for accepting to have a chat here. I hope to see you around in events. I'll definitely be at Sea on the Beach 2024. And I don't know, Brighton and so on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a really...
I'm going to be in Chiang Mai.
No, not this year. Maybe next year. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm speaking at Chiang Mai. So if anybody is there,
all right,
come see
good.
me.
No, that's nice. It's on my bucket list to go. But this year I did a few events, so budget went out. So next year is definitely on my priority list. Going to
nice. I'll see you next year.
Great. Bom, pessoal, foi isso. Mais um episódio aqui no Don't Panic, It's Organic, no tutorial de SEO com Experts. Não esqueça de se inscrever no canal, deixar um comentário, curtir e até o próximo Don't Panic, It's Organic.